Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where we have a truce with Mexico right now until when? 5 June 1884. We have a truce with Oregon until November. We have really high infamy and we should probably work on chilling for a little bit. We're currently down to notorious, so at least we're no longer a pariah, but that is going to take like 20 years to go down. We're probably not going to wait that long, but I do want to get all of these naval bases built. That's going to take a while, and that's going to run a pretty large deficit, but we're going to get a lot of investment pool built up in that time, and I think that's okay. So that's looking good. Massachusetts and California. Okay, both of those are being worked on. We technically don't need the railway in Massachusetts, I guess, but that's fine. Explosives, tools, and glass are currently all expensive. I'm not hugely shocked about that one, but we definitely need to, settle in a little bit, right? I think we certainly wait until our naval base constructions are completed, which is going to be a while. I think we wait until those are completed, though, before... What was this back here? Okay, those are shipyards in California. We should consider moving these up. There we go. Anything else in here that we want to move up? Not really. Okay, so we're removing from our investment pool right now, and we're putting a lot of money into our gold reserves. That's good. We're going to need that money. So we're going to get these shipyards built in California within the next 20 weeks or so. The railways in Massachusetts and California are being worked on, and we have a couple of naval bases being worked on. But we're going to be working on naval bases for a while yet. I think we definitely wait until our naval bases are done before we go back to war. And then we rebalance our economy around that. California has insufficient taxation capacity, and so should definitely get a government administration. There we go. And that's going to continue to be a problem in California for a bit as we build all of this up. Now, we have all of our barracks and naval bases at least queued, so that's looking good. I would like to fight Oregon fairly soon. What do we think that the odds are that Russia or Britain actually helps them? And how much do we care? Well, we're going to be running a budget deficit. We know this for a fact. That's going to happen once we finish up all these California shipyards, right? That's a guarantee. We know that 100%. Our California railway just finished. Good to know. So how are we doing there? We can definitely get more employment in there. I'm expecting California to require some more workers. That's certainly going to be a thing. Out of curiosity, high migration attraction. Okay, cool. And we're bumping up our population in California, so that'll be fine. Oil has been discovered in South Dakota. Cool. I'm sure we already have oil drilling there, but let's double check it. Yes, indeed we do. Looks good. So we're still quite positive financially, but we have 7 more weeks on our shipyards. That's going to take some time. We may need more taxation capacity than what we have here. What is this taxation capacity? 30? Okay, this should be sufficient then. Ironclads are expensive. We are not surprised about that. We're going to get these shipyards finished up, and that should help, but we're probably going to need more ironclads in the future. That's the guess, anyway. We can take one of our set of shipyards. So if we go down over here, we can take, our Massachusetts shipyard and have it be producing... Let's see, we're producing steamships right now, but we can have it go to, extensive military shipbuilding, while the one in California stays where it's at. Something like this. That should help. Cool. So all of these shipyards in California are finishing up. We're going to be negative financially now, and I'm okay with this. This is completely understood. We've got 49 weeks left in this construction queue, and we're going to absolutely tear through building these naval bases. Oil rush subsidies in Utah are expiring. That's to be expected. Cool. So this is all looking good. In terms of our power projection, it's low right now, but that's because our military budget is currently very low. All of our money is going into building naval bases. We're going to have those done eventually. Our navy is going to be ridiculous. I think that's very clear. Economically, we're kind of hitting a bit of a downturn, which we fully expect. This was 100% expected. We've only got 44 weeks of this, so this shouldn't be too bad. Are we going to go negative in our finances in that time? Actually, maybe not. Fascinating. And we're going to be removing from our investment pool for a good long time. We could theoretically expand our construction sectors. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to max out our construction in Ohio. I did not want that construction in DC. There we go. Beautiful. So the construction in Ohio is underway. And that's looking good. So we're going to have that fully constructed. Continuing to build faster. And all of these naval bases, they only take like 3 weeks each, right? So it's not going to take very long at all. We're already under 40 weeks. For our total time left here. I like it. Yes, we're going to be negative financially, but that's completely okay. Sure, we'll not tolerate that behavior. And then not do anything about it, apparently. I like it. Market access in California is low. There's no shockers there. I'm going to build 2 railways in California. Taxation capacity is apparently still low in California and Ohio. I feel like this is probably just due to the fact that this government administration, it is employed up. Okay, so we're going to need an additional government administration in California and one in Ohio eventually. So we'll get those constructing. Those will be done soon enough. We're now down to 29 weeks on our construction queue, but we're quite negative financially, right? Not surprised about this. Not surprised at all. But that's looking absolutely fine. What is currently expensive? Ironclads? Fair enough. Fair enough. What are we at for our naval bases right now? Monitors, escort frigates, torpedo boats, and Jeune École. Okay. Jeune École? École? It's been a long time since I took French. I apologize. So these naval bases are going to be finishing up soon enough. Government administration is going to be done in 9 weeks. And then 15 on those railways. Once all that is done, actually our time left increased. That's interesting. Not entirely sure why that happened, but we are definitely tearing through these naval bases incredibly quickly. We're building 2 full pages at a time, and that's looking good. The Prussian Caribbean interest has been removed. Cool. Oil rush subsidies are going away. But we're up to almost 50 million population. Growing at about 2% annually. That's huge. Absolutely huge. How are we doing on our... Okay, righteous government. Noted. We can't go down to graduated taxation yet. Anything else that we might want to do? Well, there are things that we want to do, but it doesn't look like there are any that we're currently capable of doing. Conveyors were just unlocked, and that does theoretically get us additional production methods. So we'll do vacuum canning. That sounds good. We'll do assembly lines. Let's see here. Anything else? Yes, tooling workshops to assembly lines. That's actually good to produce more motors and more... Did not mean to go in here. More motors and more weapons. Tools. That's what I'm looking for. Weapons, sure. But we're going to be producing more tools. Cool. So there's that all put together. That will help the price of tools. So that's good. Malaria prevention has been unlocked. Sure. North Carolina citizens are celebrating. Good for them. We are short on oil. And that is something that we can deal with. And I'm going to. So we're just going to build oil rigs. In terms of economy of scale locations, we build them in California. And I'm just going to build 4. I just want to get just enough that that oil input goods shortage goes away. Beautiful. So our railways in California are going to be done in 3 weeks. We still have insufficient taxation capacity here. I want to check in. Yeah, we do actually need another government administration in California. I queued that up at the bottom. That really should have been at the top. Oh, we're starting to see auto queues. I like it. Indeed, we are starting to see automatic construction. That's great. We're going to be done with these naval bases quite soon. It's looking fantastic. We can support more declared interests. For the moment, I don't really care about that. Engines, we're running an input goods shortage on. That should get auto-expanded soon enough. Just increasing our oil production will help that, though. So that's all good. Yeah, we're building these naval bases so fast. There's barely any left. Cool. By the time these oil rigs are done, the naval bases probably will be. Is what I'm thinking right now. We'll see. That may or may not be the case, but I think it is. We're definitely seeing auto constructions get queued up here. Oil rush subsidies in Oklahoma have expired. No shockers. And we're going to start turning around here soon. We do still have... We're building up a little bit of credit, but we have 12 million in our investment pool right now. That seems completely fine. Beautiful. So our naval bases are actually finishing up. 1 more week after this week tick. There we go. Oil has been discovered in Kansas. Did we already have oil production in Kansas? Actually, no. So we're going to go ahead and build that. Beautiful. And just like that, our naval bases are complete. And we're back on auto queue. I love it. Okay, so with that being done, we're running an electricity input goods shortage. We're working on that. Explosives, tools, and paper, those should all get automatically worked on, and they are. So that looks good. Our taxation capacity in California is still low. This government administration should help. Cool. Indeed it did. We're running an engines input goods shortage. We do have motor industries constructing, though, automatically. So that looks good. We're going to be removing from our investment pool for a good long time. But I do want to go ahead and bring up our militaries. So we'll do something along the lines of this. Fantastic. Bringing up our military wages to very high. And then our government wages to medium, but we're going to want to balance around that, right? We need more money than we have right now. We're currently going to be running out of our investment pool eventually. So that's going to need some work. However, these auto expansions should do the trick. We're going to get those done very quickly. Did our constructions in Ohio actually get jobs? Like, did they fill that out? They did. Okay. I'm just seeing that we're at 717 and thinking, I feel like I thought that would be higher. But no, I think it's correct. I think that's about right. So we could consider going to war fairly soon, right? War profiteering. We shall not be shamed for our good craftsmanship. Fantastic. So we're going to go after Oregon fairly soon, right? Definitely. Definitely. I do want to let our economy stabilize a little bit. Hi, Flickery, Texas. Okay, so I want to let our economy stabilize here, like I said. And it's going to take a little bit of time. But we are constructing very quickly. We're currently a little bit negative. That's noted. Okay, all of this is considered expensive. That is, again, things that we need to let our economy stabilize around. Prussia declared rivalry with us. That's adorable. We have a military power of 4,003 and a naval power of 5,428. What do you got, Prussia? 542 and no navy. Okay. Compared to Britain, 354 and 830. We're wildly over them. Same with Russia, actually. At this point, we're much less scared. Oil has been discovered in Missouri. Did we already have an oil producer there? Actually, no. We'll go ahead and get that queued in, and I put that at the bottom of the priority list. Cool. So all of these jobs are getting built up. That's looking good. 265K per week coming out of our investment pool. Yep, that looks about right. So our economy should now be entering a pretty steep increase period. And that is indeed exactly what's happening here. Beautiful. Okay, so with all of that underway, oil has been discovered in Wyoming. I do want to think about attacking Oregon soon. Oil has been discovered in Manitoba. Do we have anything in Manitoba? We have Saskatchewan, not Manitoba. Okay. So that's not anything we can deal with. That's fine. So all of these things are being produced, right? That's a lot of iron mines, actually. Cool. That'll be fine. At some point, I do kind of want to get all of our raw resources built. We'll let our agriculture auto-expand, because I think that that's probably the best way to handle that. I wouldn't mind just building all of our mines at some point. The question is this that point? And I think the answer is no. I think we need to let our economy stabilize first. We are getting some built, and that's fine. But I definitely think our economy needs to stabilize. We're negative right now. We're going to probably dip into having some credit, which we don't love. But as a lot of these things finish up, that will be beneficial for us. But we're going to run out of cash in our investment pool eventually. But for now, we're building at a breakneck speed, and I like it. We've got some glassworks coming in here. Tools, ammunition, ironclads. Yeah, I would definitely like to get some additional tooling workshops. So I feel like building them in New York isn't necessarily the best thing. Let's get some economies of scale going in Durango. We're going to bring this up to 39. I know that's a lot. Let's get that underway. So we're going to be 44 weeks until all of those tooling workshops are done, but once this first round of them finishes in 22 weeks, then we're going to be back to working on a lot of these others. But tools are needed for both military and construction, so I think that's important. We also have need of some additional ironclads. I'm going to probably queue up some additional shipyards in, say... New York? No, I'm going to go for North Carolina. But I'm putting these at the bottom of the priority list, and I'm only building 5. We also have an electricity input goods shortage. We should probably consider doing something about that. We can take New York up to 51 to max its economy of scale, and then we can do a similar thing in California. These are all bottom tier priority. Okay, so 103 weeks on this construction. That should be fine. We're going to be running a deficit for a little while. That's fully expected. We're kind of overbuilding these. We are running an engines input goods shortage as well. I'm going to build... Let's see. I'm going to build 5 in Ohio, top priority. Actually, I'm going to take Ohio up to max economy of scale. This is already too much, isn't it? We needed 16. So I need to cancel like 3 of these. Yeah, that'll do. Cool. So that's underway, and we're going to be a while before we have that all built, right? No doubt about that. But that's okay. I definitely want to get those tooling workshops and motor industries built. I want to deal with these input goods shortages. And we're going to need to let some auto expansion happen as well. We're short on ammunition. I'm going to queue up some of that, I think, at a bottom tier. So munitions plants in New York. We'll queue up 10 of those. Cool. So we're going to have those tooling workshops done soon. That will drive down the price of our construction, which is good. We're going to run out of investment pool soon, in like 3 weeks. But we definitely need to drive down the price of construction. What else is expensive here? Glass? Yeah, we could use some work there. But there we go. We're now out of the investment pool. Well, it's not quite gone yet. Now it's gone. So there's the investment pool gone, and we have insufficient taxation capacity currently in Ohio. Okay, we'll get that dealt with. We do need to get these tooling workshops done. We're going to run a deficit for a little bit here, and it's a major deficit. What is this? Diplomatic play in Oceania? I don't care about this. So we'll declare neutrality there. And these tooling workshops are going to be done in 6 weeks, with the motor industries in 10. Cool. Oil has been discovered in North Dakota. Did we already have an oil rig there? No, we did not. So we'll queue that up, but that's a bottom tier priority. Beautiful. 3 weeks on the tooling workshops. Two weeks. Yes, oil in Rio Grande apparently too. I didn't notice that one. I think we already had some in Rio Grande. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. So no problems there. What are we running input goods shortages on? Engines, ammunition, and electricity. Tools are still expensive, but they're not hugely high importance, right? So we need our engines done. Those will be done in a month here. Ammunition is an input goods shortage, so let's go ahead and move those up along with the power plants. Okay, I don't necessarily want these all to be top priority here, so I paused it, but let's move these on up. There we go. And then on page 1 here, I want to have these be a lower priority than, well, the government administration for sure, but the motor industries I want to move up, as well as the munitions plants, and the tooling workshops that are significantly already constructed. So something like this. But I do want to have that government administration be constructed. Okay, it is. Good. So the motor industries are going to be done in 2 weeks. That will help. How much is affected by that? 315 buildings? Yeah, okay. So that'll do. The play for power. Not all is fair in love and war. Okay, so there's all of those motor industries in Ohio done. We're going to get our jobs filled out here, and that'll be good. That will produce additional engines. That's all looking great. We do need to deal with that electricity input goods shortage. We have market access issues in Ohio, though, and we should definitely address that. And so we shall. So some of these tooling workshops are going to finish up soon. Okay. Specifically, this one is going to finish in this next week. We do need more power plants to finish up and more ammunition. We're just trying to deal with these input goods shortages right now. So we do have some power plants under construction. In fact, quite a lot of them under construction. That's looking good. And we're very, very negative right now, right? That's definitely a thing. I do think that we absolutely have to turn our military back down. This is a thing that we absolutely need to do. So that makes things better, right? But by no means is it good. That does mean that we're not going to be running that shortage of munitions. So the munitions plants can actually be moved down in terms of priority. They are no longer high priority. So that sounds good. Now we've just got that market access in Ohio and our electricity input goods shortage. And then we need to, of course, work on this deficit. There's no doubt about that. Our GDP is going up very dramatically. Croatian people are moving to Vermont. I like it. So our tooling workshops are finishing up. That will help drive down the cost of tools. And that does also mean that we need a railway in Durango. There we go. And these power plants are going to take a while. Power plants are very expensive to build, but they're also important. That said, I'm going to take all of these auto-queued things, and we're going to move those up in terms of priority. We're going to get the auto-queued stuff that was being worked on done, as well as these extra tooling workshops here. The munitions plants remain low priority. So we're going to get all of these done. That will help offset some of these costs, but for the moment, I think this is reasonably healthy. Reasonably. We're going to need to work on it, but it's fine. Cool. Oil rush subsidies are expiring in Saskatchewan. No shockers there. And we're just going to get all of this done, including these glass works, which is actually quite important in driving down our cost of construction. So that'll be absolutely fine. Getting that lead mine done sounds good. Are we working right now on a single power plant? The answer is no, we are not. And I'm going to move 5 of these up. Okay, so I do... Actually, I guess I moved 4. We'll move those up. We definitely need more electricity. That's for sure. So we're going to get that worked on. Oil rush subsidies are expiring in California. Okay, that's fine. So this is all looking reasonably good, right? We do need to deal with our financial situation. But as a lot of these buildings finish up, that will help. Our GDP is going up nicely. More oil has been discovered in North Dakota. We already know that we had some oil there, so that's good. That will auto-expand. How are we doing on our infamy? Down to 71.9. Okay, that's actually improved quite a lot. We're going to let that continue to drop. Our economy is currently in no shape. No shape at all to go to war. And that's because we have this extreme expansion that we're doing. It'll pay off eventually. But for the moment, it's going to be a bit tough. So we're going to get these done in 3 weeks. I'm hoping that that will deal with that electricity input goods shortage. We are running a munitions input goods shortage right now, so I'm going to move 5 munitions plants up. English people are migrating to Iowa. Cool. That's completely fine. And these power plants are finishing now. Beautiful. Ohio, Durango, and California, huh? So we do need additional railways. We're working in 2 of those locations. We'll get one in California. Cool. So that's all underway. The tooling workshops in Durango are going to be finishing eventually. How are we doing there anyway? Actually pretty well. Cool. That should keep the price of tools low for a good long time. Electricity is still a bit of a problem, but we are working on constructing these. So electricity is going to trickle in over time, is the idea here. We've got 50 weeks left on our construction. And this is looking good. These oil rigs are going to finish up. Explosives and glass are currently still considered expensive. So I wouldn't mind building some glass works somewhere. Like Mexico? We'll build 8 of them there, bringing that up to 10. Cool. So that'll be absolutely fine. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to need to tackle our financial situation. There's no doubt about that. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. And a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Ken2In, James, Shadowwolf, Emlohan80, Kentogan, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Spartan News, Unisil, Rogue Corvid, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.